with us today. Let's all give them a round of applause. Now, I would like
Tone. It signifies enlightenment, wisdom, and the pursuit of knowledge. This act often sets a positive tone for the occasion and honors the importance of education and growth.
The guest after today's function, Sri Sivakumar Sundaram Garu, the Secretary of the Siddhartha Bhargam Center for Technical Education, Sri Paladugu Lakshman Rao Garu.
Now, I would call upon Hanita to give an introduction about our chief guest, Sri Sivakumar Sundaram Garu.
It is my pleasure to introduce the chief guest, Mr. Sivakumar Sundaram Garu, CEO, Executive Director at Bennett Coleman and Company Limited. He leads the country's foremost publishing business, spanning the Times of India, the Economic Times, and leading landmarks dailies such as Navbharat Times, Maharashtra Times, E-Samay, and Vijay Karnataka. At the helm of BCCL Publishing, he is focused on driving readership, brand salience, and sustainable growth across geographies and generations. He is leading transformative initiatives that reinforce print's premium as a trusted, credible, and culturally rooted medium in a highly competitive media landscape. Beyond the boardroom, he is a passionate marathoner, triathlete, abstract art enthusiast, and an occasional columnist and writer. We are proud he is an illustrious alumnus of a Parvatadevi Brahmaya Siddhartha College of Arts and Science, and he was also a gold medal student. With his vast experience and strategic foresight, he continues to inspire innovation and excellence in the industry. It is an absolute honor to have him with us today. Now, without any further delay, please join me in welcoming Mr. Sivakumar Sundaram Garu to share his invaluable insights with us.
Good evening. I am a media person, and media person needs 100% attention. I know youth of today do not have attention. What differentiates you and me is 40 years. Because 40 years back, I was sitting where each one of you are sitting. And when the college turned 75 years, I want one of you here, where I am standing here. So with a lot of respect to Mr. Karnakar Prasad, my professor, Mr. Sabi Reddy, who is not here but I met him in the afternoon, Mr. Lakshman Rao Garu, I did my articles in Brahma and Company under Mr. Tandav Krishna, Mr. Lalita Prasad, who was managing taxation. He never gave me a paper during his days, but sir, I started my career in taxation in Times of India. And of course, Principal Mr. Ramesh, academic faculty members, some of my distinguished alumni members who are here, people who have sat with me on the bench in the class are here in the audience. So guys, people who are not paying attention, the most important and most valuable thing in life is time, which you have and we don't. Which you have and we don't. And what attention you pay to your time, how do you invest your time? Time is more precious than money. Money can be earned, anything else can be earned, but time cannot be earned. So first I want to start by saying that the most important investment you need to make is on time. How do you spend your time? How do you invest in your time? Because all of us, the most successful person in the planet and the person who is not successful, both have the same amount of time. And if you have to be successful in life, you should know how to spend time. Because if you want to know how to spend time, the second most important thing is attention. What is your focus? What is your attention? What is your attention span? Today's day and age, we know that mobile phones, the most powerful invention, is also the most screams for your attention. So decide for yourself if time is the most important thing people ask me, what is the most important thing in life? It's time. So therefore decide, where do you want to pay your attention to? So I said time, I said attention. The third most important thing in life is what? Questions. Do you have questions? You should be. How many have you entered this hall today with questions in your mind? Today I had good fortune of addressing some of you, and I must say that I was disappointed that only 3 of you had questions. The rest of you could be shy, or the rest of you didn't have questions. If you're shy, I have no problem. But if you don't have questions, then you will become answer to somebody else's questions. You will become a consumer, not a creator. To those who are creators in life. I used to come to cycle in this very building. And this very building, this very classrooms, the very trees, of course these were sheds those days. This hall didn't exist. But this is the classroom which shaped me, shaped my thinking, what your grandmother, grandfather taught you, what my professors taught me, what this culture and friendship formed in the classrooms, formed outside of it taught me. We were so fortunate, but we didn't have the mobile phone to distract. So we had no choice but to pay attention to the professors in the classroom. We didn't have the choice that I had to ask questions to the professors. We didn't have ChatGPT, we didn't have AI, and we didn't have a Bonan. And we feel that we are quite fortunate to do this. The second thing I want to ask all of you, when I said questions, what are you studying for? Yes, your parents have sent you here, and some of you have made certain choices. Some of you know what you are going to do, but my question is, what is that truly you want to become in life? Because this is the age in life, what you do in the next 3 years, mark my words. What you do in the next 3 years, what you have done so far doesn't matter. What you do in the next 3 years is what is going to be transformative in your life. It is going to change your life. All of you, I know one thing. You don't have to tell me. Each one of you sitting here has a dream. Yes? I want a resounding yes. Do you have a dream? If you have a dream, value your time. Pay attention, pay focus, and have questions. Always ask ChatGPT, no problem, but question should be yours. Ask your professors. Be a lifelong learner. So therefore, what is that? If you have a dream, because somebody asked me this question, but I may be an average or below average person. And I answered that person saying that there is nobody who is average or below average. Everybody has a talent. Therefore, ask yourself, what is that you love doing in life? When nobody is watching, when nobody is going to applaud you, nobody is going to recognize, but still you love doing. What is your passion? What is your calling in life? And that, some people are left brain, very good in numbers, very good in maths. Some people are right brain, very creative. You know, so many opportunities have opened up today, and this is the age in life to discover your calling in life. Believe me, the next 20 years of life is not going to be easy. I am a marathon runner. Marathon means 42 kilometers. It doesn't mean the 5 kilometers or 10 kilometers which they put it on the Facebook. When you are a marathon runner, or when you take up a job, when you start a business in life, everybody will come and applaud you like this. Everybody will do it. The starting line in a marathon, starting line in a business, starting line in a job, whole family, friends and all will say, party though, give me a party. But once you start running, once you start your career, and after kilometer 10 to 35 in a marathon, you are all alone. Similarly in career, you are all alone. When you have challenges in life, when you face problems in life, in career, whether personal life or office or business or anything you choose to do, because you will do something, because all of you said you have a journey from the 10th kilometer to the 35th kilometer, 40th kilometer is going to be the most challenging because you are all alone. So what is the training you have done for the first 20 years of life? Is the fuel. But at the 40th kilometer, nothing works. It is your heart, your gut feel, your internal ethos and value system and the resilience. I can do it. I shall do it. And that's when the 40 kilometer, when the body says gives up, and that situation you will face every aspect of your life. You will face it in business, because life is not all hunky-dory and sitting out of 40 years of experience. Life is not easy. It's not a bed of roses. Dreams are easy. But living a dream is the most difficult thing in life. So therefore, learn. Be a continuous learner. 40th kilometer, I don't mean the marathon literally, but also in your life. Then comes 42 kilometers. Then the crowd comes back, the cheer comes back, applause comes back, and maybe you will be invited to a forum like this where people will clap for you. But as Muhammad Ali said, I come and dance under the arc lights when everybody sees it. But what nobody sees is the hours and hours of practice, the daily waking up at 4 o'clock, the training I have to go through, the most difficult form of training I have to go through, nobody sees. And that is life. I want to quote Steve Jobs, who called about connect the dots in life. Life is a beautiful set of, one is relationships, second is opportunities. Opportunities only comes to the prepared. Personally, I am a great believer in the divine, the power of the divine. And if you are positive, if you wake up to opportunities. Now what do I mean to wake up to opportunities? Wake up early, because the energy, whether for the planet or for us, comes from the sun. So you should wake up to opportunities, because opportunities are very fleeting. Do not procrastinate. Most of the time we'll say, looking at a Facebook notification, you don't delay looking at a Facebook, WhatsApp ping. But the most important things in life, which is going to make a change to you, you delay it. And that's what I mean by connecting the dots. Life has a lot of dots. One of the dots is this opportunity that all of you are sitting here. It's not that many of you get the opportunity. There are many of your friends who are outside. And 25% of the audience is not even listening to what I am saying, because they are busy with what they are doing. That's fine. But therefore, the distilled, filtered people who have an opportunity to listen, opportunity to imbibe, opportunity to internalize your learnings from your professors, from the books you read is going to determine and lay the foundation, and the various dots you are lining in life is all will beautifully get connected and start shaping your life. After qualifying for CA in this city, I was the only person to qualify both the groups. And I also was a BCom gold medalist. I thought job is going to be very easy. Jobs are going to chase me. And people are going to invite me, send me plane tickets for a job. Nothing of that happened. In spite of doing that, I used to cycle to the Vijayawada Public Library, and I heard Mr. Koteshwar saying that we have such a beautiful library, how many of you are using it? At that time we had a small library next to the principal's room, and I used to borrow books from there. So I had to cycle to Vijayawada Public Library. Look at the Times of India there. I had no idea I was going to work for Times of India. Times of India used to come 2 days late. The Sunday paper used to come on Tuesday. Why I needed Sunday paper? Sunday paper had all the appointment ads. So I used to fill up the application, sit in a typewriting institute, because there was no computer. I used to make my resume and send it out to all these companies. How many replies I got? BCom gold medalist, MCom done, cost accounting done, ICWA done, CA done in one attempt. I didn't get a single reply. Single reply. So I said, no, let me go to Hyderabad. I went to Hyderabad, stayed at a lodge, went to all the company including TCS, and finally I got a job, and last interview was with the managing director. The manager, 6 o'clock was the interview, I was waiting. 8 o'clock, no call from the managing director. I was still waiting out. Then I decided, 8 o'clock I just got up, came back, saying that a company which does not value time may be not the place for me to fast track my career. I came disappointed to Vijayawada without a job in hand. What I am saying is these disappointments are very much part of the life. Then I said, let me go to Bombay. And those days there was no concept of campus placement. Now why I am telling you all these stories is that this is not story, this is life lived through. And when I went to Bombay, and that's a different story how I got into Times of India, and 35 years in one single organization. So what I am trying to tell you that aptitude most of you have, but most important thing is the attitude with which we are approaching anything and everything in life. Most important thing is to stay grounded, be humble, because a Harvard study confirms what your grandmother always told you, confirms what our scriptures, what our heritage, that 85% of life and success is your attitude towards life. 15% is skills, and just imagine this. 15% is skills and 85% is attitude. This is what exactly Bhagavad Gita also says. All our scripture says this: your attitude to life, your approach to life, your approach to colleagues, your approach to relationships, your approach to customers is what determines. Don't have any regrets in life. If you have dreams, live your dreams. I am 58 today, and and most of you will be wondering about the statement which S.N. Subramaniam of L&T made, that you have to work 80 hours or 90 hours. And there's a lot of controversy over that. But I will say it very differently. Life is about choices. So therefore exercise your choice. What is good for you? What you want to be. If you have a dream, be specific. You have to act your dream. You have to invest behind it. And once you are my age, don't have regrets. Because you have to have that clarity. But if only this, there's no point in looking back in life. That doesn't work. There are two things. And this question always gets asked. We live in an age of AI. ChatGPT and many other forms, AI has come in. Will it take over my job? 30 years back also there was no AI. But what I can tell you, value creation is in the unknown. There are two things in life, known and unknown. Most of the time we try to chase the known. But success, as I was explained to someone today, is finding out the pain point and the need gap. Because if I'm going to talk to an audience like this, if I don't address what you want to hear, all of you will be busy with your phones and other things. So life lesson is the value is in unknown. Create something which doesn't exist today if you want to be successful in life and create value. In an age, today's age, capital chases ideas. Today you don't have dearth of capital. Technology has replaced resources. Knowledge is universally available at a touch of a button. Knowledge is also available. Entertainment is also available. Decide whether you are going to be a creator or a consumer. Consumption is important, but balance in life is most important. Therefore, value lies in the unknown. Create, if you want to be successful, create, be a creator, and solve pain points, address need gaps for you to be successful. At the end of the day, we are all emotional beings. We have emotions. We have needs. But when it comes to decision making, your intellect, your intelligence has to dominate emotion. Decision making cannot be based on emotions. Intellect, when it dominates decision making, that decision will hardly prove wrong. I was again asked a question today about risk taking. How much risk can we take? And I answered this question by saying that the definition of risk changes from person to person. What is your risk and what is the risk of the person sitting next to you is very different. Your domain knowledge, your skill sets, your investment, as Malcolm Gladwell said, 10,000 hours of investment in your expertise. After having that expertise, if you take risk, it is not called risk, it is called informed decision making. So there is a big difference between informed decision making and taking risk. So therefore, I don't agree that there is any, if you are saying that I am taking a risk, you only take risk when you are jumping off a mountain cliff. But that is also not a risk, you know what is going to happen. So even that is an informed decision because you are going to know the outcome. So are you going to jump off a mountain because somebody is asking you to do it? Then why do you invest in a stock market script when somebody else is telling you to invest in the script saying that is going to become a multi-bagger? Don't ever invest your money in something you don't understand. Every rupee you invest has to be in something you understand, and that's what I call is informed decision making, which is very different and distinct from risk taking. Do not take naked risk. In life, it is extremely important to always be having the feeling of gratitude. It is important to give back to this planet, give back to our parents, give back to the society, give back to our teachers. Mr. Samiredi has come here just now, who I had the good fortune of learning taxation because taxation was just introduced that year. So my gratitude to all my teachers. I am here as a representation of this great institute, and today I am fortunate to acknowledge both my institutes, Siddhartha College as well as Ramaya Grand Company, which trained me for being a chartered accountant. So my final words because there is a time limitation. As a media company, I am aware that what is your attention span. The first point I said is value your time. If I value your time, I have to be limited in terms of the amount I speak. Second thing I said, what did I say? Time, attention, question. Have questions in life. So therefore, not everyone can be a Jeff Bezos or a Tendulkar. But when you said, I have a dream, all of you have the fighting spirit. The moment you said, I have a dream, that means you have the fighting spirit in you. That is enough to drive success. So therefore, tap into your internal spirit. Trust. Have trust in yourself. Have confidence in yourself. Have the belief in yourself that you can do it. I was recently reading this book by Mo Farah, who had the most difficult condition. He was actually placed, shipped into UK, Britain. How he had to overcome all odds to win 5,000 meters and 10,000 meter gold for Great Britain. And the whole journey is because he never gave up. Don't just make a difference. Don't seek recognition. And Hindu scripture says that if you have to, you can't chase Lakshmi because Lakshmi is Chanchal. But be Vishnu. Lakshmi will automatically come to you. There's a big meaning in it. There's a very big meaning in it. Vishnu means what? Not standing like Vishnu. Vishnu means a certain attribute of Vishnu. That's a way of saying it. If you have attributes of Vishnu, you are a creator in the world, Lakshmi will already be with you. But if you chase Lakshmi, Lakshmi is Chanchal and run away from you. May you truly discover what you are studying for. May all of you be successful. May you all achieve greatness. And most importantly, may you all stay human in a world of machines. Don't become machines. Stay human at heart. Emotion is important. Resilience is important. All attributes which machines don't have. This is the time to display. Don't become a slave to the machines. Don't become a slave to your mobile. Mobiles, you are supposed to be the master. There was a recent book on Nexus I have recently read about. As long as you are able to switch off the command of button, as long as it's in your hand, you are the master. But when you say, no, I can't help it, I have to scroll. I can't sleep, I have to scroll. Most important thing in life is sleep. So on a daily basis, how much time are you spending for exercising? How much time in a day you are spending on meditation? How much time are you investing in your dream? How much time you are spending on food, entertainment and sleep? And that will determine your life. So thank you. The future belongs to you. With the right attitude, emotional intelligence and social equity, with clarity, with courage. Thank you, Siddhartha. Thank you, my dear students. The future is for yours to create. Make the most of it. Your time is now. Thank you.
All the students and ESL. I am very thankful to Sundaram